Thank you very much, Joe. Pardonnez-moi, monsieur, mais je suis en une ligne qui accepte seulement les cartes bancaires, mais ma carte bancaire ne marche pas ici. Wow. Those words just rolled off my tongue, and I was impressed with myself. In fact, several thousand miles away, back home in India, my high school French teacher would have been super amazed. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you. Let me explain what just happened. My wife and I, a couple months ago, we were on a holiday in France. We'd spent 4 unbelievably amazing days in Paris, and we were on our way to Nice, which is in the southern coast of France by the French Riviera. Now, if you talk to anybody who's been to Europe and ask them what's the best way to get from one city to another, they'll tell you, take the train. It's the most comfortable thing there is. Well, we listened to their advice, but we chose to ignore it. We chose to drive. It's not because we think trains are a communist plot, but because we just wanted to give ourselves the opportunity, the freedom, to explore things at our own will. Sure enough, sometimes it can be circuitous, but we were able to visit like a medieval chateau by the side of the freeway, or this incredibly beautiful lavender field somewhere in the middle of nowhere in France. These are spots that we would have never heard of, or even if we did, we wouldn't have had the chance to visit when we were sitting on a train. Anyway, as we were driving down the freeway 130 kilometers per hour, this was a beautiful Monday morning, and we were taking in all the sights. It was picture perfect. Presently, I pull into a toll booth, a toll collection booth. And as I do that, I see that there are 2 lanes. One that accepts both cash and credit cards, the other one which is credit card only. Now, because I've been in the country for about 4 or 5 days and I've used my credit card everywhere that I've been, I say, okay, nothing's going to happen if I pull into the credit card only lane. And then I pull in there, I take out my ticket, my toll ticket, and put that inside the machine, and it says €10.70. Wow, €10.70, are you kidding me? Road tax, now that's a communist plot. Anyway, I pull out my credit card and put that inside, and it pops out right away. Okay, maybe I just didn't put it in the right way. I mean, it's like a USB card, right? You never get it right the first time, at least I never do. So I take it out, turn it around, put it in. Doesn't work. Okay, all right, oh, maybe the magnetic strip should be facing out. So I pull it out, turn it, flip it around, and put it in again. Doesn't work again. Now, I'm fidgeting. I can't move forward, I can't go back, my ticket's inside the machine, and I am in the middle of nowhere. My wife, who's sitting right next to me, she says, all right, why don't you push that red call button that I see there? I'm like, okay, I don't have any other choices, so let me try that. So I push the call button and the phone rings. Thank God for call centers. So somebody picks up the phone on the other side. Hello? I don't even need to ask this gentleman. He doesn't speak one word of English. So he picks up the phone, but my French is okay. So I say, bonjour monsieur, vous parlez anglais? Do you speak English? No. Il y a quelqu'un qui parle anglais? Is there anybody else who speaks English? No. All right, now I'm dead. And taking the train now doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all, right? So I need to work with this guy. I don't have much of a working room here. So I explained to him, sir, my French is not very good, and you need to speak really slow for me to understand, but let's work on this. And then I explained my situation to him, and he was able to understand what was going on, and he says, "All right, what does it say on the thing? What's the cash value?" I say is 10,60. Now French is a weird language, let me tell you, because they don't even have a proper word for number 70. The number 70 in French is 70, which is 60 and 10. Are you kidding me? If you need to show off your math skills to me, you should try with a higher number, not 70. Anyway, he understands and he says, "All right, do you have 1070 all in cash and change?" My wife's already got it ready. "Yes, sir, I do." "Exactement?" "Yes, exactly." "All right, so why don't you pull forward?" And all this is going on in French still. He says, "Pull out that door and just slide your money in." And that's what I do. He says, "Did you put your money?" "Yes, I did." "Did you really put your money in there?" "No." "Dude, you got me by the scruff of my neck here. Why am I going to mess with you in this situation?" So he says, "All right, you can go." "Is that all? Is that all? Am I clear? Can I go?" So this guy says, "Sure, go ahead." And then we got on our merry way, and we had a really fun trip and all of that. The reason I'm telling you this story, ladies and gentlemen, is not to brag about how wonderful my French is. It is pretty good, by the way, right? But I want to help you understand a very critical difference. Now, before I do that, let me ask you, show of hands, how many of us here like to travel? All of us, pretty much. Thank you. Hands down. Now, we all love to travel, and we make a lot of effort into planning all our trips. Not just money, but we spend a lot of time and energy doing that. When we do that, sometimes what some of us do is we are content with just being tourists, but not travelers. On the face of it, the distinction might be non-existent, but there is a subtle difference, and that is game-changing. Let me explain to you what a tourist is. A tourist is somebody who is just interested in going to those spots where you can take the best pictures. All right, I'm in France. Let me take a picture of the Eiffel Tower. All right, okay, that's the Mona Lisa. So why don't you take a picture of me with the Mona Lisa in the background? All right, I'm done. Check. France is a lot more than just a 2x2 painting or a 300-meter tower. There's people. There's local culture. Ladies and gentlemen, next time you go on a trip, think about how you can explore that local culture a little bit. Take that in somewhat. Don't be content with just fleeting moments that go on a Facebook wall to be liked or commented upon and then forgotten later. You want experiences. You're spending a lot of time, a lot of money to go to all these places. So why don't you, if you're going to France, learn a couple of sentences in French? Or if you're going to Mexico, where everybody speaks English, by the way, but if you learn a sentence or two in Spanish, what you're doing is you're creating a bridge between you and the locals. Let me tell you this, people are suckers for their own identity. And when you reach out to them, you speak in their language, you're giving them an ego boost. You're actually helping them help you. And that's the best way to learn and explore another country. Sure enough, you're gonna push yourself, push your boundaries a little bit, push your comfort zone out a little bit. But hey, the experiences are gonna be rewarding. For what's the worst thing that can happen to you in a situation like that, right? The worst thing that can happen to you is you're gonna find yourself in the middle of nowhere, in France, in front of a credit card machine, in front of a toll booth where your credit card does not work, and then you're going to find that you're going to come out of that situation just fine. Go on your merry way, enjoy your trip, come back to the country, show up at a 7 a.m. Toastmasters meeting, and make a 10-minute speech. That is the worst thing that can happen to you. So ladies and gentlemen, my final request to you is go forth and explore the world. But when you do that, do not be a tourist, be a traveler. Thank you very much.